Hey friends, I am back again with another hotel review. Now, Olu and I absolutely love traveling to Mexico, so this past trip, we went to Playa del Carmen and we stayed at Impressions Moxche by Secrets and absolutely loved it. Like, let's just get straight to the point. The hotel was spectacular. And if you haven't already and you're interested in staying at this resort, definitely check out our vlog so that you can experience the resort vicariously through us because we had a time. Now, typically, whenever we go to Mexico, we stay at Excellence Resorts. We are Excellence Resorts people. Like, they really know how to make you have a phenomenal, luxurious stay. So we were super nervous about trying out Impressions. However, the reviews were just like raving. Like, everyone seemed to have such a positive thing to say about Impressions. So we thought we would try it out. And let me tell you, the place is worth it, okay? If that's why you're here, if you're wondering, the place is worth it. I will tell you why the place is worth it, but just so we're on the same page, the place is worth it. So because we were a little nervous about staying at Impressions for the first time, we were going to split up our time, honestly. So we were going to stay like 2 days at Impressions and then 2 days at Excellence. Literally on our first day at Impressions, Olu was like, can we cancel Excellence? Can we just stay here for the full 4 days? And so literally, luckily that day I could cancel Excellence and we stayed and we just extended our entire trip and stayed at Impressions. Like, that's how much, like, just the first day, and we got there at night too, just blew us away. So let me break down why Impressions is so impressive. Okay, we'll go through 3 kind of stages. So first, let's talk about the resort itself, the look and feel and just the vibes. And then we'll talk about the food, which I think is the most important part when you're looking at hotels, especially all-inclusive hotels. And then lastly, we'll talk about the service. And then after that, you can tell me what you think about the resort, especially if you've been there before. I would love to hear if you think there's a better resort out there so that we can try that place out too. The resort itself is beautiful, like, friend. The place is beautiful. Like, when you drive in, it's like pretty secluded, so you kind of feel like you're in the jungle a little bit. There's trees everywhere, and you go in and the view is spectacular. And you can just tell as soon as you go in, like, oh, like, I'm about to relax. I'm about to have a great stay. It just looks so beautiful. There's Secrets Moxche, just regular guests. There's Preferred, which also stays on the Secret Moxche side. And then there's Impressions by Secrets. Impressions Moxche by Secrets, which has a completely other side. You have your own, like, little check-in area. You have your own bar. You have your own, like, little area for snacks. Like, it's a completely separate area. So remember that. I would say the vibe is really, for me, I think it's really feels like a couple's kind of trip, like very romantic, especially with the dark tones. It's like very spa-like. I wouldn't really call it a party vibe, although it does have like a speakeasy. We didn't try it out, but later on found out there was a speakeasy in there. But I wouldn't say it's like for singles or like for the party vibe too much, although it definitely is for relaxing if you're on a solo trip. But I would definitely think couples, romance, honeymoon, I'm trying to impress you, try to get to the next level, something like that. So definitely super sexy. There's so many pools with great views, like especially when you're staying at Impressions, you have on the Impressions side, you have the ability to try out Secrets Moxche. That is a whole different resort. And they also have a rooftop for the Preferred lounge or for the Preferred guests. But as an Impressions guest, you're kind of just like above Preferred, I guess, when it comes to the levels. So you can access the Preferred rooftop. You can access your own separate rooftop. There's just pools like everywhere in little like secluded areas. Whenever we went, it was pretty empty. I mean, we did go in April, so it was a little bit of the, I guess, maybe off season for them. But we didn't have any problems finding chairs or finding seats. So that's what we really appreciate because we're not the one to wake up early and to try to find a seat before breakfast. Like, we like to really enjoy our stay, sleep in, relax. And so it's really nice that even when we're getting to the pool later in the late afternoon or late morning that we're able to find a seat. So there's so many pool areas. It's just so beautiful. And when you just walk around, you definitely feel like a very spa-like vibe. It's just very quiet and peaceful. There are other areas more so on the Secrets Moxche side, not the Impression side, that are a little bit louder with music. But for us, we enjoyed like the quiet. It was absolutely beautiful. And it's just, the place is breathtaking, to be quite honest. And then our room, I'll jump into our room tour because our room was upgraded and we had no idea, like maybe because it wasn't as full, but it was a very pleasant surprise. And so let's jump into our room tour. Look at this room. The colors, look at the deep, dark wood tones and the light wood tones. I love the combo. It's so sexy. The bathroom was just so large and spacious. Mirrors had great lighting, so it was perfect for putting on makeup and just doing my whole face routine. You can't go wrong with that. And oh my gosh, the products. I don't know if you're familiar with Le Labo, but they have the Bergamot 22 and it smelled so good, and they have full-size products, so they weren't being stingy, which gave a very luxurious touch. And then of course, who doesn't want an extra large like hot tub? It was amazing. There's actually another one in the patio, so that's the preferred one. But in case it's cold outside and you want to stay indoors, you have a tub inside. Literally everything about this room gives the honeymoon vacation couples vibe, like so romantic. And then the shower was very large, gotta love it. It had like the rain for a shower head, which is great. I prefer not to have those because I don't want to get my hair wet like that, but it's definitely a very like sexy thing to have in a shower. And then of course you have the full-size Le Labo products with Bergamot 22, which smelled so good. And I really love that scent and that product. Back into the room, super spacious. Of course, you have the super large TV with great lighting. And then they also give you a bottle of Clase Azul, which is awesome because it's just a cute gift to take away, and it just makes it super luxurious to get that bottle as a gift. And then they left us like little fruits and stuff, which is really nice. And then we have like a full area of like with drinks. They asked me beforehand what our preferred drinks were, and I said sparkling water because I'm obsessed, but I'm pretty sure they probably would have filled it with other things if I would have, gave them other actual real drinks that we preferred. Before you see the daytime view, I have to give a big shout out to these automatic curtains and the automatic shades. Like, talk about not having to lift a finger on vacation. This just adds to the luxury, top-notch service that this hotel provides. And also, you can't forget about the gym. It's a smaller gym compared to some other resorts that we've been to, but it was pretty nice and it had all the machines we needed. Like mini resorts, it wasn't crowded in there. So we were able to use the equipment and the machinery that we needed, and it was exactly what we needed. So no complaints there, but it is a little bit on the smaller side. So I will note that. Next up, the food. Now this is really why Impressions just really impressed us so much. The food was literally amazing. We ate so much food. Like our first night there, of course, we had to stop and get some tacos from the taco truck that comes later in the evenings. Definitely worth it. They cook it kind of right in front of you. So delicious. But after the taco truck, that was just a snack. We went to dinner and we had like this steak, seafood, turf and surf. I guess that's what it's called, a turf and surf dinner. Oh my gosh, there was just so much food and it was cooked so well. And I really appreciated, especially at all-inclusive resorts, when you can tell the ingredients that are used are quality ingredients. But the food was just absolutely delicious. And like every single meal that we ate had like a first course, a second course, a third course. Like it was just like every meal was over the top. It was just so well plated. It just really made it have that like luxury feel. I think that's what kind of topped it off a little over excellence. Like excellence is nice, it's good, but the food quality and like the attention to detail in the food just went above and beyond our expectations for an all-inclusive resort. Like we have not experienced something this nice before in an all-inclusive resort. And it was just delicious. Like literally every single meal, we were just eating so much. There were just so many options and we just wanted to try it all. We literally could not try every single one of the restaurants. We weren't there long enough, but like every meal we ate, so delicious. And it was just so many options too. Like you had, you know, if you want to just keep it simple, like you just have the tacos and then there was a crepes. Oh, the crepe truck as well too. Can't forget that. And then I'm sure there were like hot dogs and burgers or things like that you could eat somewhere, but we weren't eating that. But then also you can like, there were just so many restaurant options. There was like Asian cuisine. Of course, there was Mexican cuisine. There was Italian. There was the Mediterranean. There was just like the turf and surf that we ate. Like there were just so many different options. So like, even if you're a picky eater, and for us, like we eat mostly, for the most part, pescatarian meals. And so the fish options were just spectacular. I can go on and on about the food because we were just so surprised about the food. And especially like the breakfast was really, really good. They had like a mimosa bar, a mimosa cart and a bread cart. And like, especially for us, because typically we do room service for breakfast. We just like to keep, slow ease into our morning. It is a vacation. But we were like, oh, it looks really nice. It's like kind of on the beach where they serve the breakfast. There is probably a buffet, but again, we didn't do that. We like to be, individually plates. We're doing luxury, right? We want to get the best that we can get. So we went to one of the restaurants for breakfast and the food was just so good. Like we kept going back. Usually we're like, let's just do room service and just chill. But it was just so good that we literally got out of our rooms and went to breakfast. Moving on to the service. And I'm not sure if it's because we checked in late, but one of the benefits that we got as an Impressions guest was that our check-in process happened in our room. So we didn't have to sit around or wait. Like the individual that checked us in grabbed our keys, took us up to our room, and then we gave our passports and kind of signed our paperwork, which was really convenient and just kind of made it feel like very exclusive. Like, oh, we get to be in our room and do this. We don't need to be bothered by other people. And then on top of that, remember the Impressions is like a whole other level. And so everybody gets a butler. And I've had been to resorts where you get a butler, but never where they were this attentive. I think it was definitely that same night, we met our butler. He stopped by our room and then added us into a WhatsApp group with another butler as well. I guess when he was off, she took over. And every day they checked in on us. Every day they asked if we needed anything. They made suggestions, super attentive. And I appreciated that so much. And our butler drew our bath for us, outside, he put in the bubbles. And I can't even remember, I think he had asked us oh, hey, what do you have planned tonight? Are you going to the speakeasy that I mentioned before? Or do you want to go to the speakeasy or something like that? And I was like, no, I think we're going to just, stay low key and stay in. And he was like, oh, do you want me to draw you a bath? I was like, sure. I'm not going to say no to that. And so he came up there, and then we asked for, I think, a bottle of wine too. He brought us a bottle of wine, and then he like drew our bath for us. And it was just like, I mean, I definitely could have done it myself, but it was such a nice touch, and it definitely made it feel like super luxurious, so romantic, so like couples vacation vibes. Like it was just a really nice touch. And like the products, phenomenal. Like when you're just throughout your stay, like we went up to the rooftop of Impressions, and I think, you know, we come in the afternoon, and like the specific place that we wanted to sit, they said like, oh, they had already reserved it for like, you know, their guests already, because I guess people use their butlers to reserve spots. And so we're like, oh, you know, it's fine. And he's like, actually, no, like, you know, our guest hasn't come yet. Like, we'll figure it out when they do come, you know, take this spot. And so, you know, laid out the towels on the rooftop, and we were able to relax and chill and just, you know, vibe. And it was just it felt like such a good touch, because usually in a lot of resorts, you go out there and they're just like, find a spot. If there's no spot, good luck to you. And then you see towels everywhere, and so you have nowhere to sit. But they actually like helped you find this place to sit. So that was just a great touch. And everyone was just seemed like, obviously they're at work, but as we know, you can go to a place and people seem very unhappy and like they don't want to be there or help you in any way. But not here. Everyone seemed like they were in a good mood, and that they were, you know, wanting to be helpful and, you know, just make your stay there just, you know, really enjoyable. So that was very much appreciated. And all that is to say, Impressions impressed us. I mean, we highly recommend it, and we are a little bit of like hotel snobs, just a little bit. I've learned from my other video where people told us like, hey, dang, y'all are picky. Okay, we're just a little bit of hotel snobs here. So if you're looking for something, especially at this price point, if you're like, is it like worth it? Are we going to actually like, you know, feel the luxurious kind of exclusive vibe? You definitely will. But otherwise, let me know if you have any questions. Like, I just can't recommend it enough. We are so excited to go back. That's how much we like it. So would we go back? Yes, we would go back again. And we do plan to go back again. And we hope to see you there. So definitely let me know in the comments if you have any questions. If you've been there before, let me know what you think of the place. And definitely let us know if you're like, girl, you have not seen it. You need to go here. It is so much better, because we would love to experience it. And of course, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, not only to just support us, but just so you can also stay in the loop on our reviews, because we're definitely traveling to many, many, many more places. And we want to make sure to help you out when you're trying to look for your hotels and your vacation stays, so that you know what exactly you're going to get before you get there. All right, see you soon.